Hello? Hello? Testing? Testing? Hello? Is this thing on? Does anybody know? Hey, Max. How's it going? Hey, everyone, check this out. We got Max the dog here. It's the Max the dog show. Hey, Max. Hi. Hey. Hi, puppy. Look at this dog. Look at this. Is anyone? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above It All show. This is, I think it's April now, right? It's April, I think. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Above It All show for April. Everybody, show for April today. I'm coming here from April. For April. I got like some dust in my eyeball. It's the Above It All show for April. Goddamn April. Goddamn April. So let's get started. I covered this subject a couple of days ago, but I want to talk about it again because we have some stats here. Does anyone ever think about, like, okay, so it's the year 2023, and yet people are still getting killed by the weather? Does anyone actually, like think about this? Like, think about it? The weather is killing people? Well, I talked about this a few days ago about tornado season. Well, apparently tornado season pretty fucking bad. So we have some stats here about tornado season, and I want to read some of this. But I just want to get people that watch this to really think about how it is that people are dying from the weather. Like, you know the phrase hurricane season, right? We got tornado season. You ever... What is season? What is a season? Like winter, summer, those are seasons. How are they really defined? They happen once a year. We know about it. Like, imagine being surprised when it starts snowing. Like, you know, November comes along, December, whatever, and it starts snowing, and you're like, you're, but when it comes to America, for whatever reason, we just ignore the weather. Other than rain, we don't build any houses for weather, to withstand weather events at all. You'd think, oh, you live in Florida? Fuck it. Fuck it. Every house in Florida is made out of sticks and flies in the air unless you spend fucking trillions of dollars on fucking like hurricane-proof housing, which it's not actually hurricane-proof. You got tornado belt, right? Where there's like tornadoes, hundreds of them every year. They know they're going to happen. Does every house have a basement? No, most of them do in the Midwest, right? But I don't know, basement or not, why not we build houses that can withstand the fucking tornadoes? But our country, because we're very intelligent and we're good at this, we decide to destroy people's homes over and over again. Oh, your home got destroyed? Well, let's build it again. Same exact way, no lessons learned. Oh, your home got destroyed again? Well, gee willikers, let's do it all over again. Are we... Does anyone know what the fuck is going on here? Like, we're just dumb. I need people to understand that Americans are fucking stupid. And you'd think the people in the Midwest would, like, petition their government so that they could, I don't know, retrofit all houses with tornado-proof construction? Right? Right? Like, you'd think, oh, fuck! Hundreds of people are dying from tornadoes! Let's go march on down to the state house and ask them to do something about... Nah. Because they're fucking lazy. Americans are lazy and stupid. And that's ultimately what we have to understand. There's like 5 to 10% of this country that kind of give a fuck. They kind of give a fuck a little bit, right? And then like a subset, 1 to 2% really give a fuck. And then 90% are just fucking lazy, stupid fuckers. And I know, it's not a popular thing to say when I come up onto my YouTube show and I'm like, Americans are stupid. But they are. I mean, have you been outside? Chances are, if you go outside, you see hundreds or thousands of dumb motherfuckers in a pandemic not wearing masks. That's proof enough that Americans are fucking stupid. They're just dumb. But how dumb are they? Let's find out. A string of destructive tornadoes ripped through huge swaths of the country in recent weeks, with experts saying a warmer than usual winter across the South likely fueled what has been one of the busiest recorded starts to the tornado season. The busiest recorded starts to the tornado season. Starts. We're at a record high start for the tornado season. There have been at least 478 tornado reports this year across 25 states, and according to the National Weather Service, only 2017 with 503 tornado reports and 2008 with 523 had more at this point in the year. Pinning down how tornado activity will change in a warming world, if at all, is an active area of research and more data is needed, but a picture is emerging of how risks are changing across parts of the country, particularly in areas where social factors compound vulnerabilities to extreme weather. Because if you're poor, you're more likely to get killed by a tornado, because America. But I want to rewind this for a moment. All right, let's look at this one, okay? The first sentence. Pinning down how tornado activity will change in a warming world, if at all, is an active area of research and more data is needed. So I want to explain to you how dumb this is. This would be like, hey guys, I have an idea. If any venture capitalists are out there, any big money fundraisers, anyone, open your wallets, open your pocketbook. I have an idea. I want to do a study on the effects of leaking a bunch of toxic chemicals into the water supplies of every water treatment plant in the United States. I just want to do a study. I just want to study what would happen if we put cyanide and arsenic in every water supply all across. I just want to study it. I don't want to do it. I just want to study what would happen if we intentionally went out of our way to poison 300 million people. I want to spend millions of dollars. Again, feel free to donate. Millions of dollars studying what would happen if we went out of our way to specifically spend more money to harm people for no reason. Because that's how dumb this is. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't study it. Because we have to really understand, we live in a fucking dumb world. But it really is so goddamn fucking stupid that we are forced to spend money not on solving climate change, because that ship has sailed, but we're forced to spend money to research what would happen if we dropped a nuclear bomb. What would happen if we just gave everyone disease? What would happen if we just started shooting up malls all across the US? Let's put money into research. Not put money into preventing those things from occurring, because, again, America's too fucking dumb for that fucking shit. But this is what we're gonna do. And so anyway, I'm not saying that they shouldn't study it. I just want people to really understand we are fucked. We are fucked. If we are in a point where we have to spend money on how to study how badly we're going to get fucked 2 years from now because we're too fucking stupid to do anything about it, I don't even, like, I don't even know. It's just, that shit blows my mind. But anyway, as you can see, here's a bar graph, and it's interactable. Look at that. I love that. It's not just a picture, everybody. Like, look at this. Whoa. Okay. But if you look at the bar graph, we're pretty much fucked. If you live in the Midwest, you're fucked. I recommend get the hell out of there. Where are you gonna go? I don't know. I have no idea. I just tell you to get the hell out of here. This year's active start can be blamed, at least in part, on the mild winter conditions experienced across much of the country, said Harold Brooks, a senior research scientist at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Severe Storms Laboratory. Warmer than usual winters create the type of atmospheric instability in early spring that is a key ingredient for severe storms. Quote, if you don't get the cold fronts across the Gulf, all you need is a little bit of wind to bring in a lot of warm, moist air, Brooks said. And this has been a year where cold fronts really haven't gotten that far south. The southern part of the U.S. was not particularly cold this winter. The dynamic is why tornadoes in the south occur more commonly in cooler months, from late fall through winter and into early spring. It's also why this part of the country may become vulnerable as the world warms. So a lot of people are like, oh, yeah. You know, so in 2035, you know, the Middle East is going to be uninhabitable. About 1 billion, maybe 2 billion people are going to have to be emigrating to other continents. That's no problem, right? That's not an issue. But what people don't really understand is that by 2035, 2040 especially, there are going to be several locations in the U.S. that are essentially uninhabitable. Right? They're going to have, I mean, look at what's going on in the desert states. I mean, like Arizona. Just think about Arizona in another 20 fucking years. How hot is Arizona going to be? Are you going to be able to get water in Arizona? You're going to open up a bottle of water and it's going to go as soon as the fucking cap comes off? But here you can see a map of tornadoes reported. But yeah, once again, it's just, I like to consider myself someone that thinks outside the box. I like to consider myself, you know, oh, I have a leaky roof. Well, instead of just getting a bucket, right, and maybe having a towel under the bucket in case it overflows for a little bit when I'm not paying attention, how about, I don't know, we fix the fucking leaky roof? Is that possible? Is that No, it's not possible. Why? Because it's America, and Americans are too fucking lazy. One, Americans are fucking lazy. They're fucking stupid. They don't know anything. They're uninformed. They know nothing about the world. So they're lazy, they're fucking stupid, and that's pretty much it. I really don't need to say anything else. So Americans aren't going to protest this. They're not going to actually fix this because why would they? They're Americans, and that's not the business of America. Fixing our lives and making things better, self-improvement, that's not really in the vocabulary of the average American, but hey, what do I know? Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. Everyone, we have Max the dog here. Hi, Max. Are you a dog? He said yes. So, Max the dog. Give it up for Max the dog, everybody. Yay, Maxie! I'm doing a program today. This is the Above It All show, where I rant and rave like a complete lunatic because it's how I stay sane. Or maybe it's how I stay insane. Look at this guy's ears. Look at this guy. Max, what's going on with your ears, buddy? Nope, you got a tennis ball. That's what's going on. Max, you want to show us the tennis ball? No. It's secret. It's a secret. Wait. Max, you want to show the tennis ball? Look at this tennis ball. Oh, that's a good one. They're all the same, by the way. Is this a show? Is just like watching me pet the dog? Is this a show? Is this a show? I don't know. Yeah. There's no hope. There's no hope. Oh, man. Vitingale, I disagree on the point of Americans being lazy. Productivity has gone up while wages stagnate. Americans are exploited. As for dumb, we need to fund education, GOP coordinate tax on education. I agree with the second part. I don't agree that productivity is a metric you can use. Because why are Americans productive? Because they have a gun to their head? That's not really, but that's not real productivity. Right? Like if I drew a bunch of mazes, right? And forced you to solve them, is that, and I pointed a gun at you, are you being productive when you do that? Right? The way I would define it is, being lazy is doing the bare minimum. Or maybe, in some instances, less than the bare minimum. And yeah, so if you're forced at gunpoint, because what happens if you don't go to work? You lose your job. What happens if you don't have money? You lose your house. What happens if you can't pay your house? Cops with guns show up to throw you on the street. Right? So if you're forced at gunpoint to go do a bunch of busy work that doesn't actually do anything. Like, again, look at... Now, I know a lot of people on the left, for whatever reason, this is like something I see in left-wing spaces. They're like, they pretend AI doesn't exist. They pretend automation isn't real. They pretend that like robotics isn't real because they're fucking stupid. I see this a lot on the left. I don't know. But like, let's be honest here. Like, working as a cashier, that's not a real job. Let's be honest here, right? Working at a factory, not a real job. I mean, let's be honest. Very soon, a janitor, not a real job. Let's be honest. A hedge fund, not a real job. Let's be honest. Most jobs that exist right now are not real jobs. What do I mean by real job? It contributes to society. Right? So, but why do we work? Bullshit fucking jobs. Why? Well, because if we automate things too early, then people are going to lose their job and they're not going to have money because we tie jobs to money, right? So this is why you have people, for example, that work in the coal industry. It's bullshit jobs. It doesn't mean anything. They're doing nothing. When you go to the coal mine with your pickaxe and you get coal black lung or whatever they call it, right? It's for nothing. You're doing it for no reason, right? The only reason is because you need to pay your bills, and you only need to pay your bills because the country you live in is fucking stupid, right? So, I don't know, man. But I think it's I think the idea of like metrics like GDP doesn't mean anything. GDP is just essentially like money transacted. Doesn't mean anything. Worker productivity, doesn't really mean anything. Like, most jobs that people work are nothing. Like, they're just nothing. I mean, like, we could replace them with robots, and we should. But we don't, because we live in capitalism, and capitalism is inherently anti-innovative, which is exactly the opposite of what they lie to you at school. They say competition breeds innovation, but it doesn't. That's a lie. Because if it did, why would large companies and corporations buy out their competitors just to liquidate their assets? You've heard this before, I'm sure. Big companies, look at social media companies, right? Like, Meta was like, whoa, Instagram getting a little bit too much there. Let's buy them. And now they're ours, right? But some companies, Microsoft does this a lot, they buy a company just to destroy it. They buy it, essentially paying everyone off, and then liquidate all the assets, and then the company's gone, right? So capitalism inherently is anti-innovation, but they're not going to tell you that in school, because school is controlled by Republicans and people that appease Republicans. But yeah, I mean, when I say a job is bullshit, I don't mean that you shouldn't work it. I mean, people got to do whatever you got to do. But what I mean is it's not contributing to society in any way. Like, again, working as a cashier, stocking shelves at a restaurant or a grocery store, I mean, that's not contributing to society at all. Taxi drivers, not contributing to society at all. People that are working in factories where robots could do 100% of that. Again, I mean, in a sane world, it would be like, oh shit, we don't have to do this anymore. Let's pay everyone to stay at home and play video games and watch movies, right? That would be a sane world. But we live in the hyper-ass, dystopian shitfuck capitalism where everyone's got to do a bunch of bullshit that doesn't actually mean anything just so that they can live in their shitty fucking house that's falling the fuck apart. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I know it's not popular to call Americans lazy. I understand it, but I consider myself a little bit of a, a little bit of a shocker. I could be one of those like, well, but, when you, I like to shock the system a little bit. I like to get people's attention, But, yeah, so. Now, I mean, I also will say this. I am also lazy. Someone called me lazy because I'm not protesting the government every day. Fair point. That's a fair critique. I don't know. But that's just my opinion, obviously. Anyway, let's move on a little bit. I want to talk about North Carolina. I used to live in North Carolina for a little while, so I have personal experience with a little bit of there. But there is some stuff going on in North Carolina, everybody. And it ultimately boils down to the Democratic Party of North Carolina is garbage. Like, and this is the headline here. So this is what happened. Democrats in North Carolina are garbage. Now, Republicans are going to pass anti-abortion, veto-proof legislation. They're going to do all kinds of transgender right stripping. They're probably going to do a drag ban because that's a huge concern of North Carolinians. And why? Because the Democrats are fucking useless fucking garbage. Useless fucking garbage is the Democratic caucus. I hate to say it, but that's just the case. But let's read this situation. I got a couple videos to watch of stupid fucking bitch number 78,415. A Democratic state lawmaker in North Carolina announced Wednesday that she is jumping to the Republican Party, giving the GOP veto-proof majorities in both of the state's legislative chambers that could make it easier to enact conservative policies over the opposition of Governor Roy Cooper, who is a Democrat. And now I say this having met the governor of North Carolina, as well as the Attorney General, Joshua Stein, who is, again, somebody that doesn't actually give a fuck about their job. These are Democrats that only care about, like, treating the government like it's House of Cards. You know, that Netflix show that had, like, a really fucked up pedophile on it? But, like, that's the kind of Democrats that you often see in the South, especially in a state like North Carolina, right? These are fucking losers. They're useless, spineless, cowardly fucking losers that think that they're Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, but they're not, and they don't know how to fucking play the game of politics to save their fucking lives, okay? Now, again, I've made multiple videos on why I think the Democratic governor and attorney general, I met them both, and I think they're trash. I think Roy Cooper is a terrible person. I think Josh Stein is a terrible person. These are awful people. Now, again, Josh Stein is running for governor, by the way, so that's why I call him out. Why am I making a story about Republicans being evil all about Democrats? Because how the fuck could you not see this coming, number one, and plan against it? And do something to keep this bitch inside the fucking caucus? I mean, seriously. Unless you're telling me that the governor's mansion and the executive branch of the state just didn't know. They didn't know? I don't know what's worse. That they did know and didn't do anything about it, or that they didn't know? I genuinely don't know what would be worse. You're telling me that the state Democratic Party didn't know any of this was happening? Whether the switch by Charlotte area rep Tricia Gotham will soon result in further abortion restrictions in the nation's 9th most populous state remains unclear, given her support for abortion rights during her earlier stint in the General Assembly. Now, here's the thing. This stupid fucking soulless fucking dumb fuck campaigned in a solidly Democratic district as a left of center, but overall moderate Democrat. She was in favor of things, that most Democrats are in favor of, but she wasn't as far right, seemingly, as someone like a Joe Manchin. Well, obviously that's not true. Why? Because she lied. Because that's what politicians do. She lied. She just said what was popular to win a primary, to win a general in a solid blue district, lied about it, and then flip-flopped immediately to the Republican side. So again, whatever this stupid fucking goddamn ghoul has ever said doesn't matter. Now again, I want to play her little fucking goddamn dumb fuck speech here in a moment. But I just really... I hate North Carolina Democrats because they are indicative of every problem that everyone has with the National Democratic Party. You see that in a state like North Carolina. Look at another purple state, for example, that has a Democratic Party that actually gives a fuck. Michigan. They got it's a purple state. It's like 45, 55 every election, in that round, in that realm. Their Democrats actually give a fuck. And they now have a trifecta in Michigan, a Democratic trifecta. So why didn't that happen in North Carolina? Because the Democratic Party in North Carolina are cowardly fucking losers that don't know how to campaign. Now, I'll say this again. North Carolina also, what happened in the Senate elections over the last 2 Senate elections in North Carolina? We had relatively decent, not great, nothing like, a Bernie Sanders type, but very good, compared to the average Democrat, primary challengers, not challengers per se, but just primary candidates in North Carolina on the Democratic side for both of the recent Senate elections. And then they got beaten because Chuck Schumer, who is a New York senator, you might not know this, Chuck Schumer is a senator from New York, went to North Carolina and funded the corporate, moderate, fucking loser mainstream candidates, and they win the primary and then lose the general. And that happens every time in fucking North Carolina because the state Democratic Party are a bunch of spineless cowards that let someone like Chuck Schumer just walk into the state, drop a bunch of money. They don't, is the state Democratic Party going to put up a fight and say, hey, actually, maybe you're funding people that are going to lose? No, because they're on the take. They're going to get paid off. They're going to keep their positions while they lose every fucking election. And then you take a situation where North Carolina is a state full of stupid motherfuckers. Stupid motherfuckers live in this goddamn state. I know, I used to live there. So there's a bunch of dumb fuck. And I haven't even gotten to the videos yet, by the way. There's videos here. I know I should always play the videos first, but I always rant first. Anyway, stupid motherfuckers that think, well, we're going to vote for Republicans and we're going to send them to the U.S. Senate. But here in North Carolina, you know, we support checks and balances. So, you know, in order of being fair, we're going to vote for Republicans for the Senate. But then we're going to vote for a Democrat governor. It's the same voting block. They're all statewide elections. How is it that motherfucking Tom Tillis can win a goddamn election? Statewide election, Republican for Senate, and Roy Cooper gets like didn't Roy Cooper get like 58% or some shit? Like, fuck me. So again, we have a bunch of stupid motherfuckers in North Carolina that are like, well, I'm a little smarter than the extreme partisans, and so I'm gonna vote for Republicans and Democrats. Well, now the Democratic governor essentially means nothing, because they got a veto-proof majority. Now, again, there's some stuff like, you know, again, state agencies that the governor's, you know, power still can yield some not terrible results for. But still, I can't fucking stand these fucking shit-fuck Democrats that talk a big game during these elections. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Then they get elected and they do fucking nothing. They do fucking nothing. They can't even keep their people in check. So anyway, with all that being said, let's see what this stupid... Now, again, by the way, a bribe is what this bitch took. You're going to tell me she just switched to the Republican Party? She giving the Republican Party the veto-proof majority. She just did that on a whim. On a whim. She was like, you know what? I'm really rethinking this whole women shouldn't be property thing. I'm thinking, well, maybe women should be property. So I'd like to announce I'm going. You think she made a fucking genuine ideological shift? No, she took a bunch of money, right, in the form of maybe a committee position, in the form of maybe she's going to get to hold the gavel a couple more times than she would have. Maybe she'll get a couple speaking arrangements. Maybe, hey, maybe she'll get a lobbying gig after she loses her next election, which she definitely will. But let's watch a little bit of this speech. I mean, like, just look at this fucking... Look at this smile. This is like this is like an AI. You know that fucking AI software Midjourney that creates AI images and they always have the fucked up hands? Like, if you were to give that shit a fucking text prompt of like politician, but like an evil politician from like a Paranormal Activity style ghost movie about to deliver a speech of a lifetime. And this is like, seriously, I'm saying this is scary to look at. This is scary to look at. You ever see that movie Smile? It came out last year as a horror film. That's this fucking shit. That's, Jesus fucking Christ. Look at this fucking bitch's smile. She's like, like, what the fuck? All right, let's watch.
I have decided to change my party affiliation, joining the Republican Party, and have been welcomed with open arms by...
You don't fucking say. Like, I love that these stupid, dumb fucking morons are like, well, the Republicans were nice to me. You don't fucking say, bitch! You're about to give them veto-proof fucking majority. No shit, they're gonna be nice to you. Like, hello? Like, does this stupid fucking fuckface dumbass fucking moron understand anything about... Now, obviously she does, right? But she knows, and she's correct in this assumption, that North Carolinian voters are fucking stupid. She knows that. They all do. Every one of these people... I mean, look at this guy smiling over here. I don't know if you can see him. But every one of them know that the people that vote in elections in North Carolina are fucking dumb. They're fucking stupid. And they won't understand that, oh, there is going to be a shift in power. So they're obviously going to butter up to her and offer her things, maybe not directly in the form of cash, but power and money and wealth in the form of maybe a cushy job, a position in the Republican hierarchy, right? So they're going to listen because her voters and the average voter in North Carolina is so fucking stupid that they can get away with this. That's why politicians do this fucking shit. Because they know that at least 51% of people that are going to be voting, because if you're not voting, by the way, you're irrelevant. You're irrelevant. If you're not voting, these politicians, they don't fucking give a fuck about you. They're not going to pretend to give a fuck about you. So they know that of the voting population, they can get away with whatever they want. Because the average voter, just in America, but also in North Carolina, is fucking stupid. I would like any evidence to the contrary, but let's keep going.
My colleagues, and I'm glad to call you all my colleagues. As long as I have been a Democrat, the Democrats have tried to be a big tent. But this now where we are, modern day Democratic Party, has become unrecognizable to me and to...
Now, you hear this a lot from these why I left the left dumb fuck shitheads, but do they ever explain, other than they're too woke? Yeah, they're woke! Woo! Ha-ha! They're so woke! Do they ever explain what exactly is wrong with the so-called modern they always say this, by the way. Look at this.
Unrecognizable to where we are, modern day Democratic Party.
And they always say this, you know, like this party
has become unrecognizable to me and to so many others throughout this state and this country. All of this sense of control. I will not be controlled by anyone.
Now again, hold up. They're about to clap, right? Because she's dancing for them. She's the puppet and they're clapping. I will not be controlled by anyone. She says, as she sells her fucking soul and her own rights to a party that are going to attempt at all costs to strip away the rights of transgender and gay North Carolinians, as well as anybody that is thinking about starting a family in North Carolina. You're not going to have as many rights as you used to about 5 years ago. But she won't be controlled. She won't be controlled. But again, she knows she's under control. She says this because the average voter is too dumb to even look at this, to even care about it, to do anything about it. Like, again, you have to, one, know this is happening. Have enough media literacy and, like, awareness of the world around you to know it's happening. That's step one. How many North Carolinians do you think are going to see? I don't even live there anymore. I used to live there, but I don't live there anymore. So how many North Carolinians do you think are going to see this story? Or just like a glimpse, a headline. Someone at work, oh, did you hear the power shifted in the state legislature? How many North Carolina, just think about it. I'm serious. I'm asking this. 40%, maybe 30% of the people, the population, not the voting population, maybe 30% of the population is even going to know about this, right? Maybe. And that's, I could be way off, right? But then, how many of that subset are actually going to think, wow, there's something weird here. There's got to be some bribery. Let's look into this. Okay. How many are actually going to do something about it? Let's say call somebody in, their state representative. Let's say, maybe they're going to call like lawyers in the area, see if you can get some sort of like, a case involved for like, hey, there's very obvious bribery going on here. Maybe you could try to get an ethics and protest possibly. So again, how many even know that this is happening? Almost none. How many know about it and would want to do something about it? Almost none. And how many know about it, would want to do something about it, and are doing something about it? Almost none. But then there's also another subset of that subset. We're playing the Russian dolls thing, right? Like, just bear with me here. How many people who, again, know about it, care about it, want to do something about it, are going to do something about it, and then have the actual, let's say, finances, any amount of resources. Let's say they have 1 million followers on TikTok, who cares? But have the power to actually make something happen. And the answer is 0. And as long as the answer is 0, politicians are going to do this fucking dirty side dealing because they know they're fine. And again, what is her biggest threat right now? Oh, she's going to lose re-election. Oh, she's going to lose a re-election? Dear heavens. This move is probably going to set her up for a cushy job. Right? And if it doesn't, I mean, she's even dumber than I thought. So, okay, she's going to lose an election and then go work at the fucking RNC for the North Carolina. Like, oh, she's going to lose the election. Dear heavens. Right? Like, so again, as long as the list of people that have the power to do anything about anything stays at 0, which it currently is, these politicians are going to fuck your shit up over and over and over again, and no amount of protest matters. But I want to dive deeper into here because, I used to live in North Carolina. I've done a lot of North Carolina-based news coverage, so I know a lot of my audience lives there. So let's keep going here because, there's more. So again, she's like, I will not be controlled.
And this country. All of this sense of control. I will not be controlled by anyone. They have pushed me out. They have made it Carolina is the Republican Party. It's an honor to be here.
Can barely fucking hear this shit. Like, why did it get like so goddamn quiet all of a sudden? Jesus fucking Christ. The audio just like went down like by half. Watch it get loud again after I bump it.
Today, I thank you all so very much. We are working together as statesmen and stateswomen. Unfortunately, that is talk in the Democratic Party that that's a good thing, but there is little action.
What? It's talk in the Democratic Party that working together is a good thing. First of all, it shouldn't be. But up until now, the Democrats were in the minority. So they didn't have...
when it comes to that. And if I do that, I was considered a traitor, I was told. A spy.
Like the House has already been said, just not every...
So again, stupid fucking bitch. But wait, you might be thinking that's it, right? That's it. There's no way there could be more, right? Right? Well, the answer is wrong because she went on Fox News. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through 4 of these minutes here, but she went on Fox News. And when was this? 1 day ago? Let's watch.
Progressives,
Let me lower the volume a little bit. I don't know how Fox's levels are.
in fact, have had a good run of the table right now, not only in the Chicago's mayor's race, but it happened in Wisconsin for the state Supreme Court. A vacancy filled by a Democrat, progressive one at that, meanwhile tipping that Supreme Court in favor of Democrats. Very powerful Supreme Court in the state of Wisconsin, but it's not a complete run of the table for progressives right now. In fact, in North Carolina, there's a story of a Democratic representative who wants to become a Republican. That Representative Tricia Coughlin joins us right now, the North Carolina state representative, who is switching formally from the Democratic Party.
So, real quick, if anybody wants any possible reason why she did this, she's on Fox fucking News. Someone who nobody knew anything about is now on national news. Well, you know, news, right? But so Exhibit A on why she would do this publicity stunt.
To the Republican Party. Representative, good to have you. Why are you doing this?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your show. This is something I've really thought long and hard about since I've entered this chamber in January. I had served previously for 10 years and then took a break and came back with the intent, as always, to be a public servant, to really be a stateswoman, do greater good for all of the great state of North Carolina.
So these dumbass motherfuckers often say words like statesman and stateswoman. Can we, like, you know how, like, Republicans love to do, like, what does this mean? You know, like, that's their meme. Can someone, just anyone, whenever you are around a politician and can ask them a question and they say shit like statesman or stateswoman, can you just ask them, what is a stateswoman? I'm just curious. What does it mean to be a woman of the state? Like a statesman. The great statesmen and stateswomen. What does that mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean? You know, the answer is, of course, it doesn't mean anything. But
I noticed some pretty big changes in the Democratic Party right when I got here, and it was very disturbing. I caught a lot of flack over the fact that on my car and on various things I display the American flag, that I talk a lot about my importance and belief in my faith, and I've used Jesus several times when I've led our chamber.
now, real quick, is anyone actually going to believe that a Democratic official, an elected member of the North Carolina House or North Carolina Senate, like, took her aside one day and said, why do you keep talking about God? She wants a... Did you tape it? Do you have evidence of this? A politician in North Carolina is going to ask her to stop believing in God? Like, can I meet them? Can you out them? What, like, that's the thing. You're burning bridges, right? So burn the bridge. Who was it that told you not to believe in God to be a good Democrat? I want to meet them. They would be like the first atheist ever elected to office, as far as I know. Let me meet that person. I want to, as an atheist who also hates people that believe in God, please, for the love of fucking God, tell me who they are. But it's not real, because no one would ever tell her that. Could you imagine running for office in North Carolina? North fucking Carolina. Imagine running for office as an atheist. Jesus. I mean, fuck. These people are dumb as fuck, but they want us to believe it. And again, this is when I talk about, a lot of people they jump on my shit when I start shitting on the good Christians. What about the good Christians? What about the good Christians? Oh, whenever you're so mean to religion, don't you just mean religious fundamentalists? Religious extremists? And no, the answer is all religion is bad. No exception. Okay? And especially not an exception of the dominant religion that controls the government. Right? So there's a lot of countries where the tables are turned. Where, let's say, Islam is a dominant religion, and they persecute people that don't believe in Islam. That's bad. Because you're, again, persecuting people that are a minority. In the United States, we have Christianity, right? If you are a so-called good Christian, and yet you are still dancing around as if Jesus is real, and Jesus has any power at all, then guess what? All you are doing is protecting hierarchy. All you're doing is enabling dishonest actors. Oh, no. I'm a good Christian. Jesus is definitely real. Adam and Eve are totally real. The world is 6,000 years old. But I don't want to kill gay people. I'm a good Christian. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Seriously? When you pretend that religion is special at all, it leads to shit like this. This is a good Christian. Because she can say, well, my faith, my Bible tells me, my Jesus was talking to me and said, you should be a Republican because they love freedom, and Jesus would have been a Republican too. My Bible says this and that. Your Bible is a bunch of fucking bullshit. There is no Bible. By the way, you speak English? You've never read the Bible. You've never read the Bible. By the way, you live in the 21st century? You've never read the Bible. You live in the 20th century, you never read the Bible. 19th century, you never read the Bible. No matter what language you speak. 18th century, you never read the Bible. Why? Because guess what? The most popular Bibles that exist are the ones that a couple of fucking kings rewrote. They literally just rewrote the Bible like 500 years ago or so. I mean, they've done it obviously hundreds of times, but in a shift of popularity, just a bunch of kings rewrote the Bible to put in a bunch of stuff about worshiping kings, because the original Bible, I don't know if you knew this, the original Bible didn't really like the idea of kings, right? Because you're supposed to worship God, not a king. So they removed all that stuff and said king 2, worship God, but also the king. So especially if you speak English, but also if you are not a time traveler, you've never read the actual Bible. So anyone who's out there saying, the Bible tells me, which Bible? Did you read the one in the original fucking language? Oh, no, you didn't read the Bible. Did you time travel back in time and read the original fucking scrolls and scriptures? No, you didn't. Therefore, you probably read like the fucking King James version, which is just a bunch of fucking garbage hoopla meant to make you a bunch of fucking morons. And that, again, is sadly all the good Christians. They're just fucking stupid. There is no such thing as a good Christian. Now, again, you could be a good person, right? And also be Christian. I'm not disputing that. But you cannot be a good Christian because it's fundamentally oxymoronic. It's like, oh, what about good cops? When you are enabling the fantasy that there is such a thing as Jesus, and that Jesus is better than someone else, therefore justifying hierarchy, you are allowing these institutions to exist. You can criticize them, but your criticism doesn't really mean anything. Actions speak louder than words. If you think religion is a net negative, even if you believe in Jesus, I personally think that anyone that believes in Jesus is stupid. Now, again, if you believe in, let's say, deism, right? What is deism? There could be a God. It's relatively agnostic. Right? So it's like, there could be a God. There probably is. But obviously, they're not really too concerned about what's going on here. That's deism. I respect that. You don't really know. But if you believe in Christianity, Jesus was a man who was also God, and then there's like a ghost somewhere, and then he came back because he's a zombie, you're dumb. You are dumb. You are a dumb person. No one should listen to you. Now, I just want to play the rest of this because it gets better. We get more stuff here, so let's check this out.
In-house prayer. I was told you can never trust a dim who wears camo. And just this week.
So, like, what is she referring to here? She's probably, like, if I were to wager a guess, if I were to put money on this, she's probably just, like, reading a tweet she got. And, again, no one knows who this bitch is. She probably has, like, negative 16 followers on every social media page she has combined. So she's probably reading, like, the 3 tweets that have ever been sent to her in her life. Right? That's probably... Never trust a damning camo. Who would say that in the Democratic caucus? Who would say that? North Carolina. North Carolina is the most populous state for military personnel. Again, in this bitch's dumbass schizophrenic fantasy land, North Carolina Democrats hate God and hate the military. It's one of the most religious states in the country. It is the military capital of the country. And secretly, all the elected Democrats hate God and hate the military. Like, now again, I do hate God and I do hate the military. So I'm willing to speak on behalf of those people. And I can tell you, they don't exist. I lived in North Carolina for many years. I'm telling you, they don't exist. Now, again, they might exist as people in North Carolina, but as elected Democrats, there is zero out of whatever the number is, 0 elected Democrats are going around saying, you know, God sucks and so does the military. That never happens, right? These North Carolina Democrats suck God's dick so much that, like, I don't even know how to come up with a way to describe how much they suck God's dick. And they suck the military's dick so much. And she wants us to believe that. Because why? Because the average person watching this is going to go like, yep, those Democrats really hate it. Yep, those Democrats. Yep. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, those Democrats have gotten too woke. Oh, God. Fuck.
Called an ammo sexual. The do support gun rights.
She got called an ammo sexual. Yo. I'm not gonna lie, she is literally just reading out, like, the 4 tweets that anyone, like, she has been a politician for, what, 12 years with, like, a break in the middle? She's just reading out, like, the 4 messages of fan mail or hate mail that she's gotten? Like, you're telling me I'm supposed to believe that the Democratic minority whip of North Carolina's House walked up to her and whispered, you know, we don't really appreciate how much of an ammo-sexual you're being out there. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that in North Carolina. I'm supposed to believe that like, I know I said it multiple times, but she is saying this because at least 51% of people watching this are going to be like, yeah, no, yeah, no Democrats really bad. Yeah, you get them.
That might seem minor, but that is very much absolutely out of everything our country stands for and what I believe. And I came here to be that leader. I have a strong record of working with Republicans since I started. That is extremely important to me. Instead, I saw the Democratic Party just want to make excuses to focus on very small matters.
I'm sorry, Representative, we're very tight for time here. We're very tight for time. I apologize.
Very tight for time. We only got 4 minutes for you. You're talking about policy. She almost talked about policy. Did you hear this, by the way? She almost started talking about policy on accident. I know. Every politician, what they're afraid of, like, you know how, like, people have phobias, like, oh, I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that, right? You show someone a photo of a spider and they go, ah, right? You show a politician the word policy, ah, ah! But she accidentally, almost, kind of, possibly, in some interpretation, could have mentioned something almost a little related to policy. And this guy's like, whoa, buddy, let's get back on how mean the Democrats are. Like, listen to this. She's about to talk about, like, guns or some shit. And then this guy is like, guns? I want to hear about the Democrats being woke.
The Democratic Party just want to make excuses to focus on very small matters.
I'm sorry, Representative, we're very tight for time here. We're very tight for time. I apologize for that. I did want to get a sense of the reaction you got from your old Democratic friends, what they...
Oh, you think the Democrats, you're telling us about what they want to do and how it's bad? Well, like, what is she going to say? Oh, Democrats want to give people more money. Democrats want to raise the minimum wage. And we got to figure out why that's bad, and I don't want to deal with that. So how about let's get back to how mean they was. Were the old Democrats mean to you? You tell us how mean they was to you, and I want to know. They're so mean.
They made of your move.
Well, I mean, last week they called for my resignation or for a primary challenge and have paid thousands of dollars of false ads attacking me and my family.
So a primary challenge, and they're attacking your family? Like, what, you ever hear these politicians ever say this shit? They're attacking my family. They're going after my family. I mean, by the way, Republicans, what have they been doing to Joe Biden's family for the last couple of fucking goddamn years, by the way? Like, Joe Biden's got a fucked up kid, and I know more about Hunter Biden than I know about Joe Biden, and I know a lot about Joe Biden, unfortunate to say, but, like, what the fuck, right? So this idea that, like, the Republicans, like, worship family or something, but, okay, let's put that aside for a moment, okay, but, like, isn't that kind of like how you play politics? You left the Democratic Party, so they want to challenge you. And I got news for you. It's not going to be a primary challenge. Wait, did she say primary?
Thousands of dollars called for my resignation or for a primary challenge.
There's not going to be a primary challenge. Hey, there might be. A Republican might challenge you. It's possible. But why would Democrats primary a Republican? Like, this bitch is so fucking stupid. She doesn't know what a primary... I mean, she knows. I mean, she probably misspoke, but fuck me.
And have paid thousands of dollars of false ads attacking me and my family.
Also, can we talk about what is a false ad? I'm just curious. Like, what is a false ad attacking your family? Right, I was gonna talk about that. Like, can we watch the ad? Like, is there an ad where it's like, you might know Trisha Cotham, but do you know her eldest son graduated high school in 2000 whatever? Like, is that really what the ad is? Like, they're attacking your family? Really? You might know about Trisha Cotham, but do you know about her fourth uncle from South Carolina and his secret trip to, like, what? Why would anyone spend money on an advertisement, a false ad no less, about this bitch's family? Like, what? Like, does anyone believe this shit? I know they do. That's the thing. I know it's funny to me. It's funny to you, but they do believe it. North Carolina voters are fucking stupid. They believe this shit, or at least they're not going to see it because they don't fucking give a fuck enough to actually pay attention to what's going on in their fucking shithole state, right? And again, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with the Democratic Party, especially under Roy Cooper's leadership. Roy Cooper, Jesus fucking Christ, talk about the dumbest fucking dumb fuck in the history of Democratic dumb fucks in that fucking state. Probably not. There's a lot of really dumb fuck Democrats in North Carolina, but he's up there for sure. Anyway, let's see if we can keep going.
So they're getting what they want and what they deserve, and I think will start a trend throughout our country because people have had enough, and the partisanship of
enough of what, by the way?
Personal lives, and going after my two children. I'm a single mom.
Again, going after her children? Like, if I go and visit my family that lives in North Carolina, right? And you know when you go on a family visit, about 3 hours in, you said everything there needs to be said. Everyone's kind of bored. Let's go check out what's on TV. So I'm going to go for a family reunion. We're going to get bored of each other in 2.5 minutes. We're going to turn on the TV, and I'm going to see a commercial. Now, by the way, a commercial in April of 2023. The closest election is like over a year from now. So you're telling me Democrats are going to spend money because they hate God and Jesus and the military in North Carolina. They hate all of those things so much that they're going to spend money like 20 months before the next election running ads about your kid? The next election, again, it is 2023, April of 2023. In 1 year from now, we will still be like 7 months away from an election. In a year from now! And this bitch is like, oh yeah, they're spending ads money on me and my kids! Really? No, I mean, the answer is no.
So it was an easy decision.
So very quickly, were there any who said, Representative, I want to join you? I'm just too afraid of what the reaction will be from my Democratic colleagues.
I've heard that over the past few months, for sure. It takes a lot to do this.
I just want to say this. She has not heard that. Like, I just want to clarify for anyone that needs it. She has never heard that. Okay.
I'm a risk taker. I do what I think is right, even if I am the only one doing it. That is who I am and what I believe. Certainly willing to talk to others and see if they're interested.
So anyway, that's her 10 minutes of national media attention. I know, I spent way too long on that, didn't I? Fucking North Carolina. I don't know. I like North Carolina a little bit. I got a soft spot. Even though it's a dumb fuck state full of dumb fuck motherfucks, I got a soft spot for old North Carolina. But again, I want everyone, my takeaway, if I were to give you a takeaway, it would be politicians lie so brazenly and so easily and violate every law in the book. She obviously took money. She obviously took a bribe, right? Because the average voter is fucking stupid. That's why. Plain and simple. So, that's the takeaway. But goddamn, man. There is something going on. Something going on down there. I want to go see those fucking ads about her kids that are like 21 months away from an election. I want to see that. Yeah, the Democrats are spending money 20 months before the next election. Not about her policy proposals or positions, but about her kids. Definitely true. No citations needed. I believe that 100%. Fuck. God damn. Dumb motherfuckers in this goddamn country. All right, I got a couple more stories that I'd like to cover. But I kind of spent way too long doing that one, so we'll see what I can get to. So this one's pretty nutso. So while we're on the subject of talking about Republicans in southern states, the state of Tennessee has had some interesting news over the past 24, 48 odd hours. For the first time in a long time, elected representatives have been expelled from their position. Now, what is expelled? It means that they were voted to be removed from office. Now, I've been talking about this on my show for years. 14th Amendment, Section 3, clearly states if you engage in an insurrection or give aid or comfort to someone engaging in an insurrection against the United States, you are banned from ever holding office and expelled from office, right? So obviously, it's about time, but hey, it's in Tennessee. Tennessee insurrectionists got expelled, right? We have never seen an expulsion happen before in this instance. So it clearly must be 14th Amendment Section 3. Fine, better late than never, right? Wrong. GOP lawmakers in Tennessee expelled 2 Democrats over mass shooting protest. So you're telling me Republicans will literally try to install a king. They will kill each other and themselves in an attempt to install a king into a country that only exists because we revolted against a king. None of them have ever faced any consequences. But 2 Democrats, who, by the way, you may be shocked to learn this, they're black. I know. Black politician in Tennessee, expelled. You may be surprised. They're protesting gun violence. Why? There was a mass shooting in Nashville. What was that, like a week ago? And they're like, yo, this is fucked up. Let's do something about it. And they get expelled. So the guys that break in to the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to install a king as president of the United States, they're fine. They're all good. But if you protest, no violence, you didn't kill yourself or other people, you protest, you just yell a little bit, and you get expelled. So, this fucking pop-up bullshit. Republican lawmakers in Tennessee voted on Thursday to expel 2 Democratic legislators who joined a protest on the House floor last week after a deadly school shooting in Nashville. On March 30, protesters gathered at the state capitol. Democratic reps Justin Jones, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Pearson. Can we talk about these 2 motherfuckers are both named Justin? Like, can they, like, collectively decide, hey, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to go by my middle name? Like, I mean, come on. Like, just, I'm joking, but led a chant of power to the people from the House floor. On Thursday, lawmakers voted 72 to 25 to expel Jones, 27, one of the youngest members of the legislature. The resolution to expel Johnson failed by 1 vote, 65 to 30. But Pearson, 28, was also expelled in a 69 to 26 vote. The GOP supermajority had accused the representatives of breaking House rules on conduct and decorum. I mean, when we talk about the nanny state, when we talk about these fucking fascist freaks, oh, the decorum, good sir. The decorum. Oh, dear heavens, the decorum. Now, you might be wondering, wait, so I already mentioned 2 people got expelled. They just happened to be black. But there's a 3rd person up for expulsion. And they didn't get expelled. Right? Wait till you find out why. Where's this 3rd person involved? Quote, a state in which the Ku Klux Klan was founded is now attempting another power grab by silencing the 2 youngest black representatives, Jones said after the votes. So as you can see, these 2 folks, they got expelled. And who's this 3rd person in the middle? Johnson was asked why she thought she'd been spared while her 2 black colleagues were not. Quote, it might have to do with the color of our skin, Johnson, who was white, told CNN. Quote, this is not about expelling us as individuals. This is your attempt to expel the voices of the people from the people's house. It will not be successful, Jones said before the vote. Your overreaction, Your flexing of false power has awakened a generation of people who will let you know that your time is up. Now, I hope to God that that's true. I mean, okay, so, right, Tennessee is going to rise up and vote out all the Republicans over this fascist power grab. Yeah, that's not happening. But I'd like it. I would hope that that's the case. But, again, I think it's hilarious in a sad and dramatic kind of way that 3 Democrats, only 3, by the way, that's the other one. 3 out of how many? There's not that many, but come on, there's more than 3. Only 3 Democrats joined the protest. Only 3? I mean, fuck! Talk about a fucking party in shambles, but okay, whatever. So only 3 protest, and of the 3, only the black people get expelled. Very, very, very fascinating stuff going on. And of course, I mean, there will be no consequences because it's America, and Americans, they don't really care about any of this. Let's just be honest. They don't really care about any of this. A lot of people do, but none of them have power to change anything. Now, as far as I'm aware, they can run for re-election, so they're probably going to do that. And there will be a special election, so that will be interesting. But I mean, again, it's a shit show going on in Tennessee, and I wonder if Democrats, even on a national level, are they going to do anything about it? Like Barack Obama was tweeting, "This is unacceptable. Our nation was founded on peaceful protests." Like, first of all, no, it wasn't. Second of all, you're Barack Obama, famously the person who destroyed the fucking indigenous rights of people at Standing Rock. So good job, Barack Obama. And then third of all, okay, you're Barack Obama. Are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to tweet? What do you think? You think Barack Obama is going to do something? You think Barack Obama is going to go to Tennessee? I mean, maybe he will. Barack Obama's going to go to Tennessee, right? He's going to rally the troops. He's going to have a march on the State House, right? Hey, Barack Obama, talking up a big game about peaceful protest. Imagine if Barack Obama were to go to Tennessee, tour Tennessee, go across the state. It's kind of got a fucked up like thing going on where it's like a little bit like a rhombus, but not really. He's going to go on a grand tour of Tennessee, lead a 1 million person march on the Tennessee Capitol, and they're going to demand gun legislation? Really? You think Obama's going to do that? Now, he'll tweet about how peaceful protests are great, even though when they happened when I was in office. Remember peaceful protests in Ferguson, Missouri? Does anyone remember those peaceful protests? Where people who were protesting just ended up being murdered after the protests were over. Did anyone hear about that? While Barack Obama was president, what did he do after Ferguson, Missouri? He put forth a rule change that allowed excess military equipment, tanks, APCs, riot gear, rocket launchers, water cannons, and so forth and so like. He did a national rule change that allowed excess military equipment to go to local police departments. That's how Barack Obama feels about peaceful fucking protests. So then I love that every once in a while Barack Obama marches out and it's like, I gotta remind people I exist. But again, this guy's a fucking loser. But I hope that something good happens in Tennessee. I hope that this is a wake-up call for people that live there. I don't think it is. Think about it. Kids got fucking massacred and people didn't do anything. You think people are going to do something because 2 Democrats who don't even have power anyway got expelled? Kids, children, I believe as young as like 7, were shot dead and bled out on the fucking floor and died. And they didn't do anything. So I'm just saying. Now, again, it's possible, right? It's possible. And again, obviously, all my support goes to people that do want to do stuff. But fuck me. goddamn. I mean, if you're not going to do anything about dead kids, you're not going to do anything about Democrats who don't have power getting expelled. I don't know. To me. But hey, I mean, there you go. I mean, these guys, though, I mean, this is, you know, I'm glad that they stood up on it, right? Like, you know, because the rest of the Democratic Party in that state did nothing, apparently. Only 3 did anything about it, right? So that's good. And we need to do our best to make that number go to 100%. The idea that Democrats are just going to go, oh, more kids got killed, let's just sit on the sidelines this time. Maybe, I don't know, retire from politics, right? Maybe if there's a mass shooting, a school shooting in your state, and you don't feel compelled to do something about it, maybe you shouldn't be a politician, right? So the idea that there were any elected Democrats that didn't join that's insane to me. So, I mean, these guys are great, and I hope they win in their next election. So, there you go. But, anyway, I'll talk about the other stuff, on Sunday. I'll be not here tomorrow. I will be here on Sunday. Folks, I know a lot of people in my audience have a low IQ. I'm aware of this fact, and I struggle with it every day. But for those of you that want a chance to increase your IQ, what I can offer to you is a chance to play my hot new Doom Wad. That's right, I have released the final version of my new Doom Wad called I Hate Slaughter. So you can see, here we have some gorgeous screenshots, you know. Check it out, y'all. Hit it up. Now, I know that most of the people in this audience are boomers, and they don't even know how to play video games, so you're certainly not going to be able to get too far in this one. But at least do me a fucking favor and load it up. Just give it a shot. Try it out. Like, for the love of fucking hell, what is wrong with you boomers? Like, if I knew that one of my favorite streamers made video games, I'd go play those video games. One of my favorite streamers is also a musician. I'm going to subscribe to their music channel. But apparently my audience, they don't fucking give a shit about my hobbies. Apparently. You selfish fucking cocksuckers. You can listen to a news show while you fucking play the game, for Christ's goddamn sake. Is this style of advertising functional? Is this getting me anywhere? Am I achieving my goals with this? Anyway, play I Hate Slaughter today. I will be streaming this on my Twitch if you want to watch someone who's good at it play it. But, there you go. So, check it out. If you want. But, if this is not a selling point, I don't know what is. In every level, there's 13. In all 13 levels, Max the dog is there. Max the dog is there. There are 13 secret Maxes that you can find. Never before seen photographs of Max T. Dog. You've never seen him. In this way, never seen before photographs of Max the dog. All you gotta do is look for him. Play I Hate Slaughter today. Or tomorrow, just whenever. Maxie, we're talking about you. Max, we're talking about you. You're famous. You're in the game, Max. You're famous. You're famous. Look at this doggy. Max, you're the world's best. There is no better dog. And that's right. I'm including all of your dogs when I say that. Yeah, that's right, Murphy. I don't know if Lindsay's here. Doesn't someone have a... No, someone has a cat named Max, I think. That's right. Your dogs, they fucking drool. They fart all the time. They're gross. My dog is awesome. No, I'm just kidding. I love all dogs. I love all dogs. One of these days, we're going to do an Above It All meetup, but we're going to bring the dogs, okay? I swear to God, motherfuckers. Make it happen. Like, we all got to do a fundraiser so that everyone can, like, drive to the Above It All meetup with their dogs. I want to have, like, 28 dogs in the... I want to have more dogs than people, to be honest. So, at the Above It All meetup, there will be dogs. And if you're allergic to dogs, get some medicine, bitch, because we're not doing anything for this. I'm sorry if that's ableist, by the way. Is that ableist? To bring dogs to the Above It All meetup? If you're allergic, get the fuck out? Is that ableist? Am I ADA compliant? Sorry. I want to have a sign on the window. Sorry, if you're allergic to dogs, please get the fuck away from us. No one likes you, and you suck. Yo, I got this secret Max toy. He didn't know that I was keeping this secret. This is a chili pepper with a mustache and a face. I mean, more importantly, it's got a face. He doesn't know I'm holding this right now. Like, he doesn't know. I mean, you can't see him, but he's like right under me. He doesn't know. He is not aware yet. Like, his head is on the floor. He doesn't know what's about to happen. Okay? He has no fucking idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeak it, and then I'm going to throw this bitch. By the way, subscribe and join the membership bullshit. Every dollar you give me, a percentage goes to Max Toys. So, throwing that out there. He doesn't really, he doesn't really play fetch. He just takes the toy and then he goes and chews on it for a while. But, you know, so there you go. That's Max the dog, everybody. And if you want to see Max the dog play my new Doom Wad, 13 secret Maxes. Never before seen. I mean, I took the photos, like, as I was building them. So, and, that's all I got. Show's over. Show's over, folks! Get the fuck! Get the hell out of here!